What up, y'all? It's the Robot Watcher. Grab your binoculars and I'm back. A little bit different of a video. I got on the Bryce jersey, so you know we're talking about the Panthers. And yes, you got clickbaited. But let's get into the video. Now, I started my channel talking about the Panthers coaches. My second highest video is about the new Panthers coach and his scheme. And now we're talking about the coaching again and GM work. Dave Canales said he was going to come in and fix the offense. And he has. No, I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders, if that's what I named the video. But I do think the moves that they have made has set up the Panthers to be really, really good in 2 years. Maybe not this coming year, but the year after that. And be really competitive. Maybe not good, maybe not winning too many games, but really competitive in games this coming year. Let's talk about it. I mean, if you watch the Panthers, or if you watch the film, or if you know anything about Bryce Young, you're a Bryce Young fan, Bama fan, all that, whoop-de-whoop, you already know what I'm about to say. Turn the brightness down because I look kind of crazy. The offensive line, disgustingly terrible. You've seen the clip at the beginning of the video. I mean, really, really bad. Akeem Ekwonu struggled in his second year sophomore slump, but he did have some highs. He was still a pretty decent when you look at him overall. It was just some inconsistencies up and down. Taylor Moton, rock solid. Everyone else on the interior, disgustingly terrible. I think we had the worst interior offensive line in the NFL and the worst in Panthers history. I mean, I want to say we went through a combination of 13 or 14 different guards. We signed guys off the street. We cut guys. We brought them off the practice squad. Any and everything that we could do, we were terrible. We couldn't move guys in the run game. We couldn't block guys in the pass game. We couldn't pick up stunts. We could not do anything. I do think that scheme did hurt. We didn't have a lot of scheme fits at guards for the guys we had in there. We had them zone blocking, and they just couldn't move guys out the way. They couldn't move fast enough to get around guys, hook the edge. They were better blocking downhill. Pass blocking, I don't know. Man, they were just bad. They were just bad. They couldn't pick up a stunt. They couldn't stop a blitzing linebacker. Even if he lined up, it wasn't even a disguised blitz. He lined up in front of them. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop nose tackles, nothing. It was just bad. Speed, power, whatever you want. If you want to pressure, rush from the inside on the Panthers. Let's pull up some charts. I have a chart right here. It is the Carolina Panthers evaluating offensive guards. On the left side, you have the grade over expected, basically their pass blocking grade. And then on the bottom, you have their difficulty of assignment, or expected average raw pass blocking grade / difficulty of assignment. So how hard their assignment was, the further right you are, the harder it is. The further up the graph, how good you were. So everybody, y'all see the chart. I put the Panthers, look at Chandler Zavala. Moment of silence, sorry. Look at Cade Mays, look at Austin Corbett, but also look at Chandler Zavala. That's a new time low. So what did Dave Canales do? He went out and spent $150 million on 2 zone blocking guards. Robert Hunt, being one of the best guards in free agency, period, a rising star at that position, coming off his rookie contract, has been improving every year. The last 2 years has been really, really good, perennial Pro Bowl caliber player. Gave him a $100 million contract, 5 years. You see him at the top right. He's in yellow for the Dolphins. Zone blocking scheme. We know about the Dolphins run blocking and how good their run game was last year. And he's just as good in the pass blocking. But let's move on. Damian Lewis gave the guy a $50 million deal. Another guy coming off a rookie contract, has been good, has been average. But at the end of the day, he is a road grader, just like Robert Hunt. He's had really good years, average year. Really good years, average year. Up and down, but he's coming off an average year. So guess what? He might have a good year. But you see him in yellow. Top left, still really, really good when it comes to pass blocking. Maybe the difficulty assignment wasn't really tough, but still really, really good. But let's move on. Let's look at another chart. I got more for y'all. I'm gonna try not to be here too long, but let's look at the 2023 quick pressure rates for NFL teams. Basically, the further right you are, the faster you generated pressure on defense. How fast you got to the ball, quick pressure, which I want to say is 2.5 seconds or less. The further down is how quick guys were getting to you. Do I have to say much? You see where the Panthers are. If you're in the lower left quadrant, you're bad. For that chart, you're bad for that chart. So that just lets you know pressure was a really, really bad, poor. It wasn't working, okay? Protection wasn't working. And when you gotta have a guy that's 5'10", if you pay attention to ESPN, they told you all the time with Drew Brees, when you have a shorter guy, you need to solidify the middle of the offensive line so they have a pocket to step up into. And that is not what we gave Bryce. I think if you can give him a solid pocket to step up into, his accuracy improves. His ability to read the field improves. Your offense is moving much better, faster downfield. And I think that's what Dave Canales did. I shouldn't even have to stay on this too long. If you watch my original video on Frank Reich and on the Thomas Brown video where he was taking over play calling, you should know the Panthers got no separation. It was bad. No explosive plays, none of that. Nobody could get open. No separation, no interior protection. Really bad year for an offense. It's just simple as that. Just to prove that, let's look at wide receiver play 2021. I mean 2023. You know I got charts. This shows you their raw PFF separation grade. So how much separation they're generating. And on the left side axis, or the higher you are, that shows you your catch percentage and your yak grade. So how much you're catching the ball and how much you're getting yak after. If you're higher up on the list, it's good there. How much you're getting separation towards the right. Y'all know how this chart works. Let's look at the Panthers. I'll put them in blue. DJ Chark. Terrence Marshall. That's just ridiculous. And Jonathan Mingo. Just look at that, man. Look at that. Adam Thielen was pretty good. He's in the top right somewhere. I want to say right next to the guy that I'm about to talk about, a guy that they traded for. Dante Jackson. Pick swap. We gave them a 6 in Dante Jackson. We got a 7th back in Deontay Johnson, a 700-yard receiver last year. Has 2 1,000-yard receiving seasons under his belt. A guy that I think could be a 1,000-yard receiver consistently if Kenny Pickett was not his quarterback, because he stinks. As soon as Kenny Pickett got there, he went to 800 and 700 yards, respectively. But look at Deontay Johnson, man. Top right, I told y'all. Bottom left quadrant, you're really bad. Top right, you're good, pressing elite. You're in the best category. You see where the yellow is, that yellow marker? Right in there with Zay Flowers. Right in there with Calvin Ridley. Right in there with Keenan Allen. That's where Deontay Johnson is. So we've added, and Adam Thielen is somewhere next to him. We've added 2 guys that can get, or a guy that can get a lot of separation. He's not too high on the yak. He's kind of average. But when it comes to separating, he's towards the top of the right side. Really, really good separator. But we're not done, my boy. Let's talk about Deontay Johnson. Let's look at ESPN wide receiver grades. They go based off your yak percentage, your yak grade, receiving grade, and open percentage, and then compile it into an overall grade for wide receivers. From 2020 or 2019, Deontay Johnson was drafted until 2023. Right now, Deontay Johnson is tied for the 7th best receiver per ESPN grade. You have him with a 92 open percentage or open grade, 45 catch, because he does have some drop issues, 49 yak percentage, middle of the pack, like I said, 73 overall. The only people above him, his teammate George Pickens, Brandon Ayuk, elite, Stephon Diggs, elite, Michael Thomas before injuries, elite, which this does take into account his best years because it is from 2019. Justin Jefferson, elite. AJ Brown, elite. The only guys above him are elite guys, but we're not done. We can filter it just by open percentage. Since Deontay Johnson came into the league, who have been the receivers that got open the most? The best receivers at getting open. Number 1 is Deontay Johnson. Clap it up, y'all. The Panthers finally got a separator. Deontay Johnson, playing outside receiver also. Number 1 in open percentage with 92. The next closest guy, Devontae Adams, one of the best route runners of all time, one of the best route receivers in the league, and was the best for a year, has an 85 open grade. So that just lets you know how open he gets. Under him, Devontae Adams, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Tyreek Hill, Sterling Shepard somehow makes it. And Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins under him, Tyler Lockett, CeeDee Lamb, Odell Beckham. These guys are elite guys outside of Sterling Shepard. Not sure how he got there, but we finally got a guy that can separate. And I know we traded Brian Burns. It hurts. It hurts, man. I ain't gonna lie. But we did get the 39th overall pick, which means we have the 33rd and 39th pick. Can you imagine If we took a wide receiver at 33, let's take a center at 39 or an edge rusher. But for this specific video, let's take a wide receiver. Let's take a Xavier Worthy. Let's take a A.D. Mitchell, Keon Coleman, Lat McConkey. And then let's take Zach Frazier at center. Fortify the inside. Have your X receiver or speed threat if you take somebody like Xavier Worthy. But then you can still double dip later on in the draft. And you've just rejuvenated your receiving core. If you hang on to Thielen, really good possession threat that can separate and get open with technique. Deontay Johnson, one of the best, if not, maybe not the best, but one of the top 5 route runners in the league. At worst, he's top 10. One of the best receivers at getting open on the boundary. So you have Thielen in the slot because of his speed and, juice. He's not up there no more. And then another guy that can just run routes and get open on the boundary. And then you have Mingo, who can come in, give you some reps in from the slot, things like that, give you some yak. And then whatever rookie receivers you take, speed threats, Keon Coleman, big X alpha receiver. The Panthers are in a good spot. The Panthers are going in a good spot, man. And for a guy that had low expectations coming into free agency, I was talking about signing guys like Curtis Samuel, really good player, by the way. Curtis Samuel, Kendrick Bourne, Josh Reynolds. This is where my expectations were and hoping we can hit in the draft. But Dave Canales and Dan Morgan said, bump you. We're going to go play now. I believe, man. I see the vision. And I know. It's not over. We did lose Derrick Brown. We lost Von Bell, lost Dante Jackson. We lost a lot of guys on defense. But we did add some good guys. We added Josie Jewell, pretty good. We added A'Shawn Robinson, a good run-stopping defensive tackle, which we needed because we sucked against the run. We bought in, who do we got? The guy that's from Buffalo. I can't remember his name. I don't know too much about him, so I won't even mention him. But Josie Jewell is a really good linebacker. Really good Frankie Louvu replacement. We will be getting Shaq Thompson back. Still got JC. Still got Derrick Brown. Still have 2 picks in the top 40, 33 and 39. So if we want to address defense, if we want to get a Chop Robinson to replace Burns, we're bringing in Clowney tomorrow. Brought in Chase Young and Wanham today. DJ Wanham, whatever his name is. I can see the vision, and I believe. So if you don't think the Panthers will at least be competitive in the game they play next year, I don't know what to tell you, but I've put my bet down for over 5.5 wins. But this has been the Real Ball Watcher. Keep pounding. Put up your binoculars. I'm out.